Hi, my name is Greta, and we just came up without a really idea here. So you're probably curious what we made out of it. Our team is called Unlocking Utopia. This is Ulrike. Then we have Mila, and we have Ed. And we would like to start with a very short exercise, which will involve you contributing to it. So I'm asking everybody to sit very, very calm on the chair. Please do close your eyes. It takes only 10 seconds.
That one? Oh, no, sorry. You can open your eyes now. Good afternoon. What we just did then was, in a very short time, simulate two states of mind: working, rushing, noise, busyness, and the calm that people get from escaping the daily life and recharging and revitalizing. So before we go straight into the presentation and talk about what it is we actually developed, we want to just show you and demonstrate kind of how we work through this problem. When we look at people at a behavioral level, people, human beings, ourselves, we're a fascinating bunch, we're a very unique bunch, but we're also somewhat predictable. We tend to work in cycles. We go to work, we earn money, we try to progress our careers. This tends to lead to stress. We get overrun, we become busy. Things seem too much for us to handle. Mister? Okay. And this leads us to wanting an escape. And in order to escape, we need a place to relax and recharge and really find ourselves again. At an economic level, we tend to buy things. We invest in things that we like, we support causes that are meaningful and emotional to us, and we generally save and put away money for the future, for our family's future, for ourselves. And what we see from a scientific point of view is we live in these cities where there is a constant threat of, emissions. Pollution is making our habitats, or where we live essentially in cities, dangerous and unhealthy. Our landscapes are more and more described and seen as concrete jungles. And we're losing this sense of community. There's a level of solitude. We're in this big city with so many different people we don't really know or really trust. So we left the building yesterday and we wanted to understand how we could essentially solve these challenges and problems. And three things stood out to us. When we looked at people in cities who generally try to escape and go to like an urban garden environment or some kind of sanctuary, we see that there is a big demand for that. They need that to break their regular routine. But we also see that there's a huge supply of underutilized and unused space in cities. And interestingly enough, we also found that there is this desire for the community, for a sense of trust to come back to where it's once been lost. And I think climate change is an interesting concept because it's a challenge that should be uniting us as a generation. The problem is, it's not really bringing us together yet because there are so many things in our day-to-day lives and our priorities that are kind of getting in the way. The last generation had the war that really brought them together because that was threatening our extinction. But climate change is something that we're still trying to handle, but we're not 100% sure if we can get there because it's in the way of all of these priorities. So, what we're trying to do with Unlocking Utopia is address our individual behaviors first. We have developed essentially what is the first global platform where people can spot and identify unused spaces in their cities. They can suggest sustainable urban garden projects that could be launched by those citizens. and they can finance them through a number of different crowdfunding or crowd investing mechanisms. And the idea is that we bring a global scale to urban gardens. We can compare Berlin's progress of converting unused spaces to London's progress, to San Francisco's progress, and try to find a way to change our behavior to do something that we all want to do and all need to do, that is, escape the day-to-day and enter an urban garden environment. And by doing so in a sustainable way that we can address climate change. So that's where we came from, and I'm going to hand over to the team to give you a quick introduction on the solution.
So this is the website we developed, starting actually yesterday with it. And when you come on the homepage, you will see an impact ticker, which is now just an image, but we'll plan to do that, which shows you the top-rated cities where you are going to have the most implemented open gardens that we have on our platform and that were realized over the platform. If you're a user and you show that, you can also go to your city and spot a place, a garden, wherever you think, like here we are in Berlin, for example. You can move around the map, you can set a spot and say this is going to be the spot where you would like to have Greta's garden. You can add also some description, some details. And you can set if this is a new spot which was not discovered by anybody else, or if it's already in progress, somebody else already might spotted it, or if it's open to other people. So when you post it, takes a while. It's already running on a local server. You're going to see your post on the map, and you're also able to show a printout where you can see details about what you entered into that formula. You have a QR code and also a number, a phone number and an email address. And if you print this out and put this around your neighborhood and the drawers, people can come scan the QR code or write an SMS to that number, and this will add them automatically to the amount of people who like that spot and who support to have their new garden. And the other feature, the last feature actually we provide, is we like everybody to have the possibility to know how to implement a garden. What kind of bureaucratic way is that? So we want to provide details about, for each city and each country, what's the bureaucratic way to go for to really realize this. What are the success stories? Who did it already, and what kind of backbones did it have? How did they overcome it? So this would be the experience part. And you also get details about different kind of technologies, like the container gardens or like the Schrebergarten you have in Berlin, how people implement their gardens on different places all over the world, and also a tab about plants, like what kind of plants fit for walls, what kind of plants fit for containers, what kind of plants do fit for South Africa, for South America, for North America, and for Europe.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just wanted to show you a quick mock-up because we didn't manage to implement all of our ideas, so we just put it in a mock-up, and I'd like to see that now. There you go. So this you already saw. And the cool thing about this is that you can get people to lobby for these places to unlock. So you can say, okay, I saw this in my neighborhood and this is unused. Why is this unused? And you can make people support you. And then if you have a critical mass of people, you can probably alert the government to actually unlock this place for you. So what we have here is a city overview where you can see the projects in your city that are already unlocked, the spaces and the spaces that still need supporting. So there's a project overview, and we don't own these pictures, we're just using them for presentation purposes. So this would be such a detailed view of a project. This was some really cool projects from London where they took a London tube, so a metro station, in the tunnels, and they built a garden in there, and they're now producing salad and stuff. And they got actually crowdfunded with 500,000 Great Britain pounds. And we would like to implement that as well. So you can either have a financially viable solution where businesses can chip in and venture capitalists can support you in crowd investing and they get an equity out of it, or you could do it as a crowdfunding thing and you say, okay, we're building this garden and the community and the neighbors can now buy a piece of this garden when it's done. So these are the two solutions that we found. And that's it. Thank you.
Once you've identified a space, could you tell us a bit about the mechanism to find out who is owning that space or currently looking after that space to ask for use of it?
Yeah, what we thought is that you put it on the map and then probably people will already tell you who it belongs to, but we'd like to have a database from the government and we'd like to underlay it with that, if we can get it for the special countries. If not, then we'd have to rely on crowdsourcing probably.
Just quickly, it doesn't need to be spaces that are available for an indefinite period of time. The concept can also be where there is revolving availability of an unused space, an area that's going to be developed within 24 months, but until then there's nothing happening, so there's no reason why we couldn't drop ship Garden in a Box or something similar and use that space for that time.